leave out of school, you come to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, boom. Soon as you come to Atlanta, how long was it before that y'all started Noontown?
There's a lot going on when I came down here, man, because, you know, we were all kind of 1 foot in and 1 foot out. And Noon was already down here. Noon had gotten into trouble in the Bay, so he was actually fighting the case while he was here when we came here the first time. And we ended up doing a show for Freaknik.
Okay, yeah.
And we had this huge shows like Luke, Wu-Tang Clan, Tribe Called Quest, Too Short. It was like 35 acts. We did it at the old Morris Brown Stadium. And so what happened in that situation was that was the first time I really felt like I could really do something different with my life and that I could be passionate about. Because I'll be honest with you, the game was suffocating, but I enjoyed the cat and mouse of it, and I knew what I was doing. So there's a certain refinement and confidence that comes along when you feel like you know what you're doing, right? And so when you're trying something different and you don't really know what you're doing, it's kind of like a crapshoot. You can't. It's very difficult to approach it with the same confidence. I don't care who you are. And so when we had that concert, it was a gazillion people out there, and it really planted the seed in my mind, and I'm sure my business partners too, that we can do something. And then, you know,
y'all started promo business.
We started to promote. We were promoting a little bit in DC, but as you know, by way of what happened with Kasim, and we had done a couple smaller shows with Kay up there. But when we came down here and did this show for Freaknik, it was 35, 37 acts there. So it got real. And then Atlanta just had a different energy when I came down here. So now I'm trying to figure out how I could breathe. Because like I explained earlier, when I'd be in DC, I couldn't breathe. You know what I mean? No matter what was happening, I just fundamentally, because I felt like I was
being watched.
Well, that's been proven. But but you could feel it. You know what I mean? And watching your peers go away. And it's so funny, man. Quick story. My lawyer at the time, his name is Arthur Reynolds Jr. And Art was Rayful's attorney. And
Rayful Edmond.
Yeah. And Art was so cold. Art walked a man out of a case. He beat a case where this man shot 3 people, killed 3 people in broad daylight with 14 witnesses, and he beat the case.
Shit.
So it's just a it's a testimony to. I hope I'm not referencing anybody knows, but you know, it's just true. So that's just a testament to how cold he was, but he was a functioning heroin addict.
Shit.
And so when Ray got in trouble, the feds knew that this man was the best chance of getting Ray off. So they really honed in on
knock him down.
They knocked him down to get him off of Ray's case. So he ended up being my attorney, and I went to go see him one day, man. I used to go there and clerk, and because I wanted to learn more about my case. And she's a good friend of mine today, but the girl that used to work there, she had told Art's wife, she was like, the same little boy that come down here and clerk, he got the same name as this dude that got this big folder, this big DEA folder. She was like, girl, that's the same person. And she just flat out couldn't believe it, right?
Yeah.
Because I would go down there with my button down on and my khakis. I was about it because I was really trying to, and it was just, you know, it was a case in Baltimore that I was associated with. It was my own case. I knew my cousins was having issues. It was, I needed.
Stockpiling.
Yeah, it was stockpiling.
Yeah.
So he told me that day, they had about that conversation. He said, man, the problem I have with you is that he pointed to a stack of cases, that these folks, they gotta be here. You ain't gotta be here. You're choosing to throw your life away. And that haunted me, man. Like, I can still see him saying it to this day. You know, people you know, people can say things to you when you're 3 years old,
And
when you're 13 years
like
old,
it just happened.
and you can hear it like it. So that was on constant playback in my mind. Because like I said, I started to feel dumb. You know, I started to feel like I wasn't reaching my potential. And so coming down here just made my flower bloom. I started to see that, okay, there's another way that this can happen. And this is black people. This is a town of progressive black people who had, you know, black infrastructure and black leadership and black communities and black support systems. And I had never witnessed that before. And it started to pull me away. Because initially when I came here, I was like, I'm going to hustle here, but I'm still going to figure out how to get this money. You know, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's in you.
And I talked to my cousin one day. He's locked up. He was in Sheridan, FCI. And he told me, bro, you ain't going to learn how to swim with one leg on land.
Wow.
This is
wow. Hold on, slow down. Hold on, Chris, please.
That's a real shit.
Hold on, please slow down one time. All right. For everybody in the back. All right. For all the people who just got up off the sofa and just went to the bathroom, left their phone on there. For all the people who just the music playing loud. All right. Rewind it. All right. Please say that again for everybody who watching.
I was dibbling, dabbling in both worlds. I was trying to figure out how I could hustle in the game and still make inroads down here in Atlanta. And
what your cousin told you?
And this is my cousin told me, Parlay, this is my cousin who's locked up, whose bills I'm paying.
He love you.
He loved me.
He love you.
He cared about me.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? He said, bro, you making inroads and you ain't gonna learn how to swim with one leg on land. So
shit, you can't swim with one leg on the land.
Yeah, he was like, either you gonna get your ass in the pool or you not. But it ain't gonna go both ways. And
that's too hard.
Yeah, that's real shit. That's what OG taught.
OG
yeah, that's it. He only got to say his saying.
This dude,
that was it.
This dude, man, it's the craziest shit. He's like my big brother. So you know you got a love-hate relationship with your big brother.
Yeah.
But you always revere him. Because I know so much of who I became was him and his brother. Because I was able to live vicariously through them. I was able to learn from some of their experiences. And I went through my own share of trials, but I still had that buffer. I still had those people standing next to me to be like, hey. And when I was slipping, they'd be like, hey. And another thing I had too is that I could jump out the window with my grind or whatever that I was trying to do. Because them niggas was always going to catch me. As long as I wasn't doing nothing, no malice, they was always going to catch me. And that, you know, that's how I try and live my life to this day, because it's those close quarters are the difference between having an opportunity and not.